Yeah. Goddamn right. That's why we wear a beard. That's because we're afraid of hey, nothing wrong with having two beardless moms.
No, yeah. I mean, I grew up with a single mom, so
So another mom would be even better.
Jesus, yeah, God.
Oh my God, you mean I could have double the number of moms I had?
Would have had a lot less fucking dishes.
Where was that option on the menu? Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Happy Hour. It's 4 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, and I just did 5 hours of manual labor in the hot sun that amounted to jack shit.
What was going to happen?
We were going to have an episode of something interesting happening that we could turn into a Modern Rogue episode. But instead, what we had was a sunburned, tired, and frustrated Brian Brushwood, who took 20 minutes to rally and is now here to bring the joy, and also drinking a Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Nice. Well, are you gonna head back out, or are you just saying, you want to know what?
No.
Bag it for the day, boys.
We do have to do an ad still, which is why I'm glad we're taking this break, but we were trying to do a signal fire. Like what we wanted to eventually get to is doing smoke signals, like you think of in the cartoons. You know, you do a puff and you do Morse code in the sky.
Yeah. Smokes. Yeah. Is it insensitive to say that is a Native American thing?
It certainly has always been in pop culture represented as that, so I don't think that's insensitive. And but we didn't know if we would have a success condition with that, so we were like, well, at the very least, we could do a signal fire, because a signal fire is just a fire that you put a lot of greenery on, right? And we've been watching the weather every single day, and today was the day that the wind was the lowest in the last 2.5 weeks. 3 miles an hour, Justin. Turns out that you could build a bonfire almost 12 feet tall. You could fill it with greenery. You can pour in a bunch of accelerants. You could start the fire, and the smoke will go about 20 feet up before a 3 mile an hour wind just blows it away. So we had people at a 1 mile away viewing station, a 5 mile away viewing station, and a 10 mile away viewing station. And after 4 hours, nobody was able to see a goddamn thing, because apparently smoke doesn't go straight up when there's a 3 mile an hour breeze.
Well, now, where in the matrix of Modern Rogue does it go outside of the LOL, the boys failed, like, anti-win condition? Because this, from a preparation standpoint, certainly seems like you guys did a bunch of stuff, and there could be a, like, LOL, they failed, but it's not a visual failure. Nobody falls down or nothing, like, explodes where it's not supposed to.
Right.
So, I mean, is that the line? It has to be visual to be an LOL?
Or it just has to be literally anything. This was just nothing. This was it's like it has to be the 30-second intro. You know what it is? It's like the time that we totally failed to use lye to melt a body because we had an aluminum pot instead of a steel one or whatever. So all that entire day's shoot showed up as about 30 seconds of whoopsie doodle footage in the final episode. So that's what this is going to be. It was just a bummer. I spent all day scratching off a lottery ticket that went nowhere.
This is going to be a great preamble to when you realize that you need to add something else that makes it smokier, and therefore you can see it. And this will be the preamble of like, we did it. Like, oops, we didn't. Like this week on Modern Rogue, you get to build a thing.
But if our goal is to get fire to go up into the sky, I think we just have to wait for a full-on summer storm front to come through, so that the following morning there's zero wind and it goes straight up forever.
Gotcha.
And I thought we were close enough on this one, but clearly not. Was
Not the case.
real
Not
bummer.
the case.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what, Brian? That's what the happy hour's for. So you can come on out with your buddies, just pour one down your gullet and let the world know that your sorrow is amongst the tapestry of pain that we call life.
My sorrow is amongst the tapestry of pain we call life is my favorite NSYNC cover band.
Yeah. Well, how high are you on the fact that this Opal thing has worked?
I'm my enthusiasm is totally renewed because we were able to make it work just now with just the two of us, and there's no adults in the room. Like that was the part that I was worried about. Like if that was going to be where we ran into trouble, that would be it. But man, it was a lot of fun to be able to just shout at each other, constantly interrupting the entire show long last night.
Who knew that there was I didn't know that you had new secrets, for the record. Like, I didn't know that there were new, that there were new stories to be told in this old marriage of ours. The fact that all it took was one technical solution to have come tumbling forth that you fell asleep while peeing once, standing up. I was like, oh my God, this truly is the word of God. Like, this Opal thing is the truth. Because I figured we've excavated all of those kinds of stories, between all the embarrassing stuff that we've admitted over 10 years of doing this kind of show together.
Yeah, sure.
I thought we had reached peak oil long ago, and yet here we go. All it took was the new drill bit called Opal.
No, it was great, and I think that's also part of why I was bummed this afternoon. Is man, we were just on a fucking tear after yesterday. We did so much content, and it was so good, and we had the successful fundraiser live stream. We had hundreds of people show up live, thousands of people watching it later. We raised thousands of dollars for good charities and all that stuff. Rolled immediately into, whoopsie doodle, holy cow, Cargill is available for what turned out to be a fantastic show and a fantastic after show where, because whenever I talk politics with someone whose name isn't Justin Robert Young or Andrew Heaton, I never know entirely how much, whether we're having whether the discussion is happening from the skybox or on the field. And it was great because it was very clearly the discussion was from the skybox. And it was really, really fun, man. It was a great day, and I woke up this morning super excited. Like, we're just going to keep the hits rolling. We're going to go right in, shoot our first monologue since, we even have this whole conceit where Jason doesn't have to physically be here. He just has to get, within a mile so he can see this smoke signal. It's going to be great. Yeah. And then the wind is dumb, and we just couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, man, it is just a bummer sometimes. Although, I guess, look, this is the process for Modern Rogue, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if anything, you do know that this makes that episode that much richer. Yes. Right? That you do get a big fail that can then add into the big win once you get the big win.
Well, and that's also, we have so many fails that never even make it into any kind of episode. But it's the genuine risk of failure that makes the episodes pay off when they do pay off, which was not today.
Not today. Although I do think that it does physically build if you have so many people spread out so far, right?
I was convinced. I was so excited. Like we were all on this walkie-talkie app, and it's just Echo Base to Echo 7. Are you there? Yes, we're here. Ready. Okay, launching. There's a fire. The fire's going. The smoke's kind of blowing to the side. Can anyone see anything? Well, okay, now I'm going to add more greenery. Now I'm going to add literal gasoline on the fire. Now I guess I'm putting the fire out, and maybe the steam. There's a lot of steam. Please tell me somebody's seeing something. No, nobody's seeing anything. I guess that's a wrap, people. It's hot.
I mean, but also, I guess no one's seeing anything is the best cold open, right? If you just roll out like the end of a Modern Rogue episode where you think you're getting the payoff in the first 5 seconds and then it's just a total failure, and then you like how to build a signal fire. Like that's great.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. Well, let's go ahead and get your mind off this.
Yeah, man. Look, what do you got? Some entertainment news?
Brian, you want some entertainment news?
God damn right I do. I'm allowed to eat ramen while I do this. I'm gonna put you on the one shot just long enough for me to wolf down a couple of bites.
All right. Well, here's the deal, Brian. There's a lot of entertainment going on, and we're here to talk about it.
Is there? Are we sure about that?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure. As I read into the entertainment news to see what happened today.
Oh, it feels so good to not have any setup for this bit at all. And I love the fact that we no longer even announce it. We don't make a deal about it. We flip a switch and we immediately start, and everybody shows up on time. We already got like 130 people who are loving life just like we are.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, you want to know what the new hotness is, Brian? Documentaries, docuseries.
I'm familiar with them. I although I struggle to think of a single one that we've talked about on this happy hour stream a lot.
Well, all right. Obviously, you know, we've talked about a certain docuseries a lot that has obviously made the genre very, very popular. Before that, though, I know it's hard to remember a world without Tiger King, but if we were to remember a world without Tiger King, what was the number one talked about new show on streaming? And I'll give you a little hint. It was on the new debuting streaming platform, Disney Plus.
Oh shoot! Wasn't it like a behind the scene of Imagineering or something?
No. Forget the docuseries part. Just
the world according to Jeff Goldblum.
No, bigger. There was a bigger one on Disney Plus. What was the biggest show on Disney Plus?
Oh, I thought. Oh, sorry. I thought we were still on docuseries, and I'm like, you're not going to convince me that The Mandalorian is a documentary. Although, if you reveal that to be the case, that would be the best news I've heard all month.
Funny enough, Brian, they're combining the two great tastes that taste great together. The Mandalorian is getting its own Disney Gallery series, an 8-episode docuseries that will debut on May 4th. So we have our scripted series, we have our docuseries, now we have a docuseries about the scripted series you liked.
It's about how spoiler alert, Baby Yoda bit off like 8 fingers and and ate nothing but expired meat.
Well, we do have one other piece of news.
We do.
Wait, do you not know this? Am I going to break this news to you?
Maybe. Does it have to do with The Mandalorian or
what are you doing
meat?
On July 10th?
Oh, there's something got a release date in July. Is it a video game or a movie? No, I think it's a movie. Oh, I know this. I just stumbled across this. You and I are going to be in a movie. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's Prison Logic coming out on is it going to have what VOD or what?
Come on. As stars of the movie, we don't want to get yelled at by PR. It is no longer called Prison Logic. It is called Tijuana Jackson, Purpose Over Prison. So now we got to go with come on. We don't want to be fucking rubes here, Brian. We don't want to be like off the turnip truck, we're going to get fucking emailed by all the higher ups from Cranked Up Films. Big shout out to Cranked Up Films, by the way, for picking this up. But yeah, VOD release on July 10th, Tijuana Jackson, Purpose Over Prison. It will be available for everybody to buy and rent. How fucking awesome is that?
Dude, I'm so stoked about that. And so just all of the regular places you can get it on I assume Amazon and your Voodoos.
I don't know if there's any other deal to be made, but as of right now, according to Deadline.com, Cranked Up Films has officially picked it up, and it is going to be out there for the world to see on July 10th.
Oh, that's great. I'm so excited. Hey, side question, unrelated to this.
Yeah.
When do we all have to get haircuts? Because like I'm getting near the end of of trying to be able to manage this.
So I don't know, because I'm getting to the point where like my hair, the style that I have now is pomade dependent, right? But I really only have a little bit of a way to go on it. Once it gets too long, now it looks like I'm some fucking bizarre operatic director where I have like this gigantic swoosh and it doesn't poof up enough. It's just a bad look.
Well,
so
what I'm running up against is in the back. I'm starting to ducktail up a little bit, starting to get a bit of that, like Chevy Chase and Fletch, hair flipping up thing.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that a barber with a mask and gloves on is no more of a threat to you than anyone else, right?
You're talking to a guy who still goes to Chick-fil-A, where every time I go there, 7 teenagers are gathering together, touching each other and saying nice things. There's no social distancing at Chick-fil-A is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, all right, Jesus, narc, when I just rat out all these wholesome teens. I mean, they have God on their side after all.
Look, here's the point. If you're going to close down the inside part for the stated purpose of obeying social distancing, you can't have all the people in your drive-in line hanging out together in a cluster of 7 of them, and then they all scurry like you're the fucking cops because you're about to order some nugs. And I'm like, I saw what you just did. I saw that you guys are all hanging out.
I mean, all right. Yeah. I mean, look.
If I went in, I would be alone in the dining room. So I'm the asshole who's not allowed to go be alone in the dining room. So I have to go to the drive-in, which is, even though there's no cars in the drive-through, there's 75 kids all huddled up with their red shirts on. And I'm the asshole who can't go inside and sit down like a civilized person and eat my fucking chicken noodle soup.
That much like the question that was loudly asked by me on Night Attack 2 weeks ago, to the question, who's racist now? The question, I guess I'm the asshole. The answer is always yes, right? All right, so let's have a little cathartic talk.
All right.
And let me just go ahead and say, right, before Dr. Fauci climbs up my urethra, this is not Brian or Justin suggesting that social distancing is bad or not working or not necessary. We very much believe that this is flattening the curve and we should all be doing it, understanding that there are economic hardships brought on by it. So we are only talking about our own frustrated desires. I just want to be able to sit alone in a bar.
I mean,
I don't know how. I mean, you can. I would probably even buy seats next to me to appropriately distance myself. I would go to a place where the bartender wouldn't be allowed to actually hand me my drink. He would slide it comically like an old West saloon all the way down until
I don't even think I need that part.
Drink comes into my hand.
I think it should be BYOB. Like, do you have 5 televisions that I can ignore? I don't even play current sports events because we all know there is no current sports. They can all be playing various EA big franchise games or reruns from 4 years ago. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be ignoring them the entire time. I will BYO my B to walk in and just sit on a corner, and I don't even care what you do. Just clean your glasses 12 feet away from me. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Well, wait, hold on. Because what you're describing is you just basically want a like jungle gym for adults. You just want a structure for which you can drink while there is things going on. Like, you don't even need the alcohol. You're bringing your own booze, so you don't even need somebody there. You don't even need somebody cleaning glasses. You literally just want an empty bar with air conditioning.
I do want there to be other people for me to ignore. For some reason, that is an important part of it. Like there has to be another person.
Let's figure it out.
And occasionally,
I was assuming. This is why I thought that you were that your BYOB thing was a little aggressive, because like you do kind of want to signal to the bar. That's like an important part of it, is just like the bartender looks over and you have your earbuds in and they're like, they kind of like give you like the wave, and then you just go like point one finger up, one finger down to your drink. So, and they just go and bring it back. That's an important part of it for me.
And that is ideal. That is what we crave. That is what we miss. That is the experience that we love. I'm saying I'm willing to give up even that part where, yes, they should look, and then they should mouth the words, "You good?" And then my answer will always be, "Great, don't worry about it." But I want to be bothered once every 15 minutes to be asked if I'm good, so I could say I'm good.
What's your hand signal? Like, because sometimes I'll go finger up, like they'll be like you good, like another, and I'll point down at it. Sometimes it'll be like I'll tap the rim with my one finger, like as to signal I want another one. Do you have a hand signal, or do you always verbally say, "Yeah, I'll take another one"?
I hand signal. It's one of those things. I don't go to hand signals until I am certain I have established rapport, because I think if you can't be bothered to take your earbuds out and you only give a hand signal and you've never seen this bartender before, you are the asshole. Like at that point, that is you refusing to have that interaction. Whereas if this bartender knows you or whatever, they'll kind of look and you're like, and then they'll like, give an okay sign or a thumbs up or whatever. And then at that point, I'll never do I give just a immediate yes. I will never say, yes, I would like one more. I will always act as though I just noticed that I'm drinking. I'll be like, oh shit, I do have a drink in my hand. And I'll pause for a second.
Brian will just start screaming as if he's woken up in a cold sweat in a dream, just at the top of his lungs. Where am I?
Well, and it's one of those things where I'm just like, oh shit, I guess I was drinking. And you know what? I get, just one more, and then sign me out or whatever. Always act like it's a surprise.
Now, see, there's some advanced stuff here in the chat. Glass on coaster, I'm good. Glass off coaster, refill, please. That's like some in and out, like secret code language. I'm not up on that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one. Do you ever do, now this is truly passive aggressive. If it's like a mixed drink, do you ever just sort of like let that ice tinkle in the glass, just sort of, or do the end of drink straw slurping as they're walking by, just to let them know?
Oh, as a way, empty drink, as a way to get attention.
Yeah.
No, I've never done that. Well, you want to know what? Maybe only in situations where the bar is very busy and I don't know the bartender, and so I can't signal them. Normally, my move is I'll be a little bit more aggressive on like, hey man, when you get a chance, another one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'll always just be like, basically, I'm like, this is like the alcoholic version of back cuts. Remember back cuts in line?
Yeah, which are always bullshit, right? Where it's like, basically, back cuts are nothing but saying, hey, would you like to join me in fucking over this guy who's standing right behind me? Yes, I would. Great. Enjoy it.
It really is an important lesson in self-interest when you're at a young and impressionable age to understand that it's like you can skip the entire line as long as you don't skip the person at the very front. Like,
Uh,
you can make that deal with them. They will allow you to skip the line as long as they don't lose their spot.
You know what you could do though? If somebody tries to back cut, you know, it'd be an interesting play is for you to watch that start to happen and then say, I'm so sorry, gentlemen. Look, I know you guys are cool. Officially, there are no back cuts and you're not allowed to be doing what you're doing. However, I will look the other way if you just let me get in front of the both of you. So now it becomes a three-way conspiracy. You're still fucking the dude, the next one behind, but now that there's that weird buffer in there.
Well, then I don't know. Do you think that where ethically is the like, hey man, when you get a chance, can I get another one? Where is that ethically?
That I think that's fine. It's a little it's ever so slightly aggressive because usually if you get to the point that you need to say that, you usually have a legitimate grievance that you're not being taken care of. Because truthfully, they should notice. They should notice well before you have the opportunity to ever say those words. Yeah. If you have to say those words, that means they're already derelict in their duty, and you are being. What I would probably do instead is say, "Man, I'm so sorry. I've got to run," and then they turn. And then they go to do the tab, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? As long as you're doing that, just one more." And then, and so,
see, that seems way more manipulative.
It is manipulative, but it's less directly aggressive. It implies that I'm the one that is in the real bind here, and there's nothing to be done about it.
I guess that's the thing is I don't view when you get a chance to be aggressive. I view it to be like, oh, I don't want to be a bother, but if you have iced tea, I'd like one. Like that's in fact what I would greatly prefer if I could just order stuff off like my phone and just put that on their queue and they can just take care of that.
That is the one very, very bizarre aspect that I can understand about why you bought in whole hog to, was it the United airline system? Like, they have entire wings of airports that look like they have 7 different restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
But all of them have the exact same point of sale terminal, and each point of sale terminal is skinned as if they're a different restaurant. But you never talk to a person. You just press the thing you want, and at some indeterminate time, that thing arrives, and you can order anything from any restaurant because secretly all of it is just welcome to United Land unit.
Now, see, the funny part is I would never go to those because I would go to the United Club, which actually just had a bartender you could order from. Right, but you
just earned yourself a full screen while I take another bite of ramen. There you go.
The point is
I'm in the executive club where I get to eat during the stream. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, ramen man. No, I mean, my I thought about that, the United stuff. So I have been to those. In fact, I was once at one in Houston where they wind up turning their bartenders into very, very, very annoyed tech support people because all anybody wants to come into.
I definitely got that impression.
Yeah, is that they come in, they go to the bar, and they're like, oh, whatever fucking computer land over here, am I right? Well, at least it'll make a good coaster. Hey, barkeep, Jack and soda for me. And they're like,
what's your rewards number?
You have to enter it into the thing. Just do me a favor. Go to purchase something. Go to food and drink. Go to drink. Go to spirits. Go to dark liquor. go to mixers. Like they just have to walk everybody through this tedious, stupid process because it is not easy. None of those UIs are well done because secretly they are what you just mentioned. They are a skeleton key to the entire airport, and not just like, hey, here's the 8 menu items that you would have here. Or even better, you could just hit, I'm talking to the bartender, and boom, like it would just, the bartender on their end would just be able to enter in on the point of sale.
It reminds me a little bit of where are you at on the Apple Store experience? And I've at various times in my life hated it and loathed it. And am currently mildly annoyed with it because I've reached this point of fucking just treating everyone like cattle and everybody works for me. But like that whole way that they set everything up, like it's an awkward party and you have to catch the eye of somebody and seduce them into asking if you would like something. And I hate everything about that setup. And it's only my own assholiness that allows me to walk up and sometimes interrupt people in a conversation and just say, I'm so sorry. You guys are clearly talking. I want to buy an iPhone. What's the best way to do that? And then it's like that's the only way to get to fucking buy the thing that you want to buy. I don't understand it.
Well, then also, of course, you know that someone's going to recognize you and they're going to be like, what? Brian Brushwood from Scam School?
That used to happen much more than it does now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But also
of the hair?
Well, also I don't walk around and turn all the Apple TVs to the Brian Brushwood on the Road podcast feed, which is the thing that
so
I
you
used
think
to
that
do.
was the real reason why people would recognize you?
Could have
Because
been.
you were... Oh, crap. Yeah, man, I miss being alone at a bar. I miss bar food too.
You know, I think it's only Wings. Who was it that had the audacity to say you could, like, Wings just have not existed for over a month?
I agree.
At home.
I've thought about, have you thought about making them?
I have chuckled at the thought that would be possible.
You scoffed at it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Brian has let out a gentle scoff at the very notion that bar quality wings could be made in the home.
I mean, part of it is you also want to hate them, and you can't make a thing that you're going to hate. Like part of the experience of ordering wings is the sauce is never the exact right spiciness. It's either a little bit too much or too little. And the consistency between wings is never good. There's always one shittiest of the 5 to 7 wings that you got.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is that contempt of like, I don't know. I think when I'm eating wings, I actually dig the contempt part, and the last thing I want to do is be the guy that makes them so that I can turn on my own efforts with contempt.
Is there a food aside from wings or more than wings that you eat knowing full well you're going to hate the food and yourself a little bit after eating them?
Chicken fried steak is never as good as you fully expect it to be every time. You're surprised every time. You know, you're thinking you want that comfort food, that rich, creamy gravy, that cornflake kind of crusty on the outside, and then and the patty is always thinner and more desiccated
oh my God. I'm
than
so
you thought.
glad that we can finally cut through the bullshit and just reveal chicken fried steak to be a fraud dish. Here's the deal.
But I'll never stop going back. I'll always go back to it.
I'll eat it again in the next 6 months. I will guarantee you that. Here are the problems with chicken fried steak. Number one, it's never enough, or it's never the right amount of gravy. You just get it from the second you order it, and you're imagining in your head, or you're seeing it on the menu picture.
The first, how do you know you're eating chicken fried steak? Because the first move is taking that ridiculous oversized serrated knife and just scraping off that layer of fucking frothy gravy.
Which always then leads to you accidentally taking off half of the fucking chicken breading. Like,
yes.
That's always way too loose, and that winds up coming off, and you're like, okay, I guess I've sacrificed half the reason why I got this novelty food item, because now it's inextricably mixed with all the excess of the gravy. And then that reveals the final disappointment. The fact that the only reason why chicken fried steak exists is so they can sell the shitty steaks they don't want to sell to you just as a regular menu item. So they're like, fuck it, throw this rinky-dink bullshit into the fryer. We'll sell some fucking rube a $10 upsell on what would otherwise be free or go to the dogs.
Fucking preach, man. God damn it. What else is there?
For me, it was always, I have a lot of this relationship with fast food. So historically, White Castle. Boy, there's a moment when White Castle is just like the greatest thing, but because they are small bites, I will always over order. And for a period of my life, me and a friend used to get the case of 50.
Oh, you've told this story, and you guys would make it a point of pride to just ruin it yourselves.
And when you're 10 in, you know it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like, you just know it's a terrible idea. The more, like, really, as soon as, and I'm only saying 10 because I'm riding the adrenaline past 5. Like, if I ate 5 and then I was like, that's good, I would probably feel a little bit bad about myself. But, I've never felt worse about myself as a human being than when I have 25 White Castle hamburgers in my belly.
I'll tell you, we've talked about how, okay, so in that case,
it might be 30. It might be 30 instead of 50. All right. I think I've screwed this up before.
However many of those that you get, it becomes like a point of pride, and you realize, oh, I've gotten more of these than I should have. The closest I'm thinking of that I do that is I very publicly, and we've talked about this at Subway, just like loudly dare the person to overdo it on the bell peppers. I've never ever regretted. Nobody's ever won except me. I've only been happy. There was never I've never gotten a fuck you amount of bell peppers on a sandwich and was anything less than thrilled. They should have given me a second sandwich. They should have handed me a whole uncut bell pepper as if got them, and I would still just be thrilled.
All right, so for the point of fact, Crave Case is 30, so I ate 15, and boy, did I feel bad about myself. I agree with you. Very rarely have I left a Subway feeling, oh my God, this is terrible. Now, I will say this, for as much as I love Taco Bell, lately, I don't know what it is. My biome, my stomach biome has turned enough that now Taco Bell is just, it doesn't sit with me the way that it used to back in the day.
I'm so glad that you're the first one to say that, because I've had that thought secretly. And I used to be, I would go in and it was 6 soft tacos and I would just gobble them up, wolf them all down. Now I can't even do 3 of the same soft tacos because I get to done with the second one, start the third, and I'm like, I don't know, what am I doing? And then I just throw it away.
Yeah.
So where I'm at now is I need that little bit of diversity. So it's got to be 1 Doritos Locos, nacho cheese, 1 regular soft taco, and 1 breakfast taco that I will only eat half of, and then that's my jam. Where are you at on the Mexican pizzas?
I can fuck with a Mexican pizza. I don't know if I would ever order it though. Like, if somebody said, hey, I got an extra Mexican pizza, does anybody want it? I would probably raise my hand. But I'm so specific at Taco Bell that I'm always going to get the burrito and the hard taco supreme. unless I do have a track record. I am ride or die with Taco Bell's new creations. I will always try a new creation once. And I don't know if I have that relationship with any other restaurant, period. Like fine dining, casual, fast food. For whatever reason, when they ran that gordita chalupa, like that 90s run,
Yeah.
that gave me faith renewed forever. Like once you know that brain trust is capable of those kind of hits, it's just like listening to a band that you're like, well, look, they made these two of my favorite albums. I'm just always going to listen to their new album.
The Mexican pizza at Taco Bell is the titty bar of the menu. It is
Really?
in my heart of hearts. I never ever don't want to get it, but I always know I shouldn't, and I never do. But it's like this is like, oh man, that titty bar over there.
Did you have Mexican pizzas at school? Mexican pizza was a big school lunch thing for me.
No, I assume these aren't like actually officially sanctioned Taco Bell. You didn't have one of those schools where they had like a franchise there, did you?
No. We did once we got to high school. Pizza Hut was allowed to sell. They had their own little kiosk that people could buy pizza, but no, these were like school lunch Mexican pizzas. But to be totally fair, if you were to put a Taco Bell Mexican pizza and a school lunch Mexican pizza in front of you, there you could probably tell it by looking at it. But if you were blindfolded, I don't know exactly how much you'd be able to tell the difference.
My lunch, God, this will sound so Brian Brushwood to you. I never in my entire high school career ever, not even once, went through the school lunch line. Can you guess why?
Because your mom packed your lunch?
Oh, no. Because it was a fucking line. And there was never a line for the snack bar. And so I always, and the snack bar line had 5 windows, and it was never more than 2 people at each one. So my lunch every fucking day consisted of a can of raviolis, a 2-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups, and a chocolate milk.
Oh my God. That's so Brian. The adventures of young Brian Brushwood. That's amazing. I didn't know that this went back so far.
I didn't realize until just now. I'm like, did I hate the variety? Did I hate that? And then it suddenly realized, like, no, man, that fucking line. It was at least like it was. There was never. I mean, by design, there was never going to be a way to just walk up and get what I wanted and leave.
Yeah. That's weird. But all right, can we, in our final minutes here, can we spend a little time ruminating on your line hate? Because you are very particular about what lines you will and won't wait in. Physical people standing in a line, never, right? Not even once.
With one exception, and that is in those rare instances where the line itself is its own reward. Standing in line for the original iPhone, one of the best 4-hour experiences of my life. Highly recommended. 10 out of 10. Outside of that, even standing in line for the Phantom Menace, way better than the Phantom Menace, but a fine line experience. Pretty much everything else gets the hey boss.
That's pretty much it, right? But like, you will not throw a fit if we're at a bar and it's really, really hard to get a drink. Like you have more patience, like because it's because the amount of people are evenly wrapped around the bar, so you feel like at any moment it could be your time.
And that's a good point, because even if obviously if there's one bartender and they can't serve everybody at the same time, essentially all of us are at the front of the line, but it's a weird lottery which one of us will get served. Like, for some reason, the belief that at any second I might be the next one to go, it seems to be fine with me.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Because I
know for a fact when I get in the back of a 30-person line, there's a 0% chance that I will be the next person served.
And so even if, let's say they're a good bartender and they have memorized everybody around. It's like, all right, well, you, then you, then you, then you, then you, and you're not on that list because you just showed up. You're willing to take the chance that they're not that good at memorizing things, and eventually they might just come to you, or that you're going to try your hand at hey bossing if they get within physical distance.
Yes. Even if it is only a fantasy, and even if it almost certainly is a lie that there's no chance that I'll be next, then at least. So you're saying I've got a chance. Like that's what it boils down to.
Oh man. So all right. Are there any improvements in a line scenario? Like if you could, I'm going to pitch this to you.
Mhm.
Now standard in all lines, mandated by the federal government, you now have the right to answer a riddle to skip the line. Like, would you be more? Now, you can take that chance, but if you don't answer the riddle correctly, back of the line.
Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, joke's on you, Riddle Master. I'm going to take that chance, and if I don't get the riddle, I don't want to ride your shitty ass ride anyway. Like, that's ride or die, man. Like, I'm either going to the front or I'm going to go get a churro and decide that there's some other better ride that I'm going to go do. Is it
all right. So you would. So there's no way. There's no bargain. There's no game of chance. There's no lottery. I guess. Like, all right. So then, all right. If you're in the line, not only does one person go in that's up front, so there is a worth to being closer to the front, but also randomly by lottery somebody goes in. Are you waiting in a line?
Yeah, if it's remotely possible that suddenly the line is over with, then I could be okay with that. Now let me throw this to you.
Go ahead.
Multiple terminals with multiple lines,
Okay.
or that thing where there's one big ass queue that eventually goes to the 3 terminals. Which do you prefer?
Oh, I always prefer the multiple lines.
Yeah, because you get to assess like grocery store checkout style. You get to assess like that's a bachelor. He's going to have 7 of the same canned goods, and he'll be faster than this is mom who's got a kid and is probably going to write a check.
So yes, there's my own determinism.
Also, B. Crawford saying a big ass queue is more efficient.
Whoa! Here's my point. Here's my point. Possibly, yes. However, you are putting a lot of faith in middle management. Good middle management can make that line go very, very fast. They can direct things to the right places. They can spot a cashier that is overworked. They can communicate effectively with everybody else as part of it. Right now, I went to Whole Foods yesterday, where social distance through this one line. You don't pick what register you go to. And because they have restricted the amount of people that are in at one time, and you do have an effective middle management person that is directing, yeah, it's really fast right now. On a random Tuesday when there is no situation like this and they're not holding people at the line, man, you got to have a lot of faith in that middle management, and I don't have that faith in middle management.
Now, I've got one scenario that might sound crazy to you. There is a place where the line is always 20 to 30 plus minutes long.
Okay.
And I never mind waiting in it.
Okay.
Because the owner walks up and down that line with a little terminal in hand saying, hey, you're about like 5 or 10 minutes away from the front of the line. Can I get you like a glass of red or white, or you a beer guy? And I'm like, oh, what do you got? You double IPA? Yeah, no, let me do a credit card. We'll do all that. And you're like, let me get that over to you. Rolls up, hands me a double IPA. Happy as could be. Hang out in that line all day long. This is Pius. Pius does this.
Oh. Now it's smart.
It doesn't.
I'm with that.
Number 1, locks me in. What am I going to leave after that? Number 2, it doesn't hurt that once you place your order, they're doing that wood-fired pizza thing. It's like you spend 30 minutes in line enjoying your beverage, hanging out, talking, and then you place your order, and then you literally turn around and suddenly the finished wood-fired pizza is in your hand. It's insane.
Yeah. All right, if you were to design a line, this is where we'll end here today. If you were to design a line, knowing that you hate them the most, is that the way you'd go, or would you add anything else? Would you add any of these games a chance? Would you add any of the you might be able to go in right now stuff? Are there any things that we've talked about or you can come up with that would gussy up a line so the Bryans of the future would be excited to wait in them?
I would manufacture bullshit things that happen the entire time through the line. That, like, eventually, in one reality, you stand in line for a long time, you place your order, you decide what toppings you want, you buy your stuff, you wait for somebody to pour your fucking drink, you give your credit card, blah, 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 blah. If you broke that down to where, and almost the way like Disney does, where it's like you walk up and you only see two people in line in front of you. But then you say, you're like, those are short lines. And then you step forward and you're like, hey man, let's get you started with the drink. Let me get your credit card. Let me get your rewards point. We'll have this conversation over this stuff. And then it's like, you did it. You placed the first part of your order. Just head on over there and pick up your beer while we take care of the rest. Then you walk over and there's only two people in line in front of you. And then you pick up your beer. It's like, you got your beer. Now why don't you go get your pizza eating plate over there? It's right over there. And you walk over and there's only two people in front of you and you get your pizza eating plate. And then you walk over and you're like, you got your pizza. And then it's like, now sit and eat, go. Or now, whatever. Like that is how you do it. Make me feel like I'm always this close to winning.
So you're telling me that Brian Brushwood wouldn't look at that and say, look at this fucking busy work bullshit. I don't want to be doing all the, you're giving me a ticket so I can get a piece of paper so I can bring it to the paper mill so I can get myself some silverware.
Okay. Everything you just said, think in terms of Hearthstone. There's a very long trip to Legend. But each time, every step, it's like, oh my God, I got another star. I'm another step closer. Oh, look at that.
No, but that's a game I enjoy.
I know.
I enjoy the game of Hearthstone. I don't enjoy the game of waiting and of getting my thing. Although I guess I enjoy getting a beer, and I probably enjoy getting a pizza. You could probably suck me into this.
Yeah, well, like break it down. Hey, now you so you're gonna get a beer, and you're about to talk to the beer sommelier. Which of these three styles of beer stein would you like? Ooh, well, I don't know. This one's tall. This one's short. This one's made of obsidian. Okay, I got it. Oh, is it time to pick my beer? Oh, and the beer sommelier. Are you more of a lager guy or whatever? Like, oh yeah, I like the.
What do you imagine the beer sommelier looks like? Because I'm just thinking he's got to be at least 200 pounds.
No. It's just Daniel Whittington from the Whiskey Tribe, like showing up being super cool.
I'm thinking he's got to be a barrel-chested, like a Hagrid type.
That's interesting.
And he's just like, oh, you look like a wheat man. And I'm like, I don't know. I've never tried wheat. And he goes like, ha, ha, ha. We always take our first steps on an adventurous foot. I don't know, some fucking shit. And then he just like pours you a beer and you're like, now I would think it tastes a lot better because he gave me a thing.
Plus also the best trick this beer sommelier would do is he wouldn't ask you what you like, because all of my best experiences have had to defeat choice paralysis. Somebody said, what do you hate? What's the worst beer experience you've ever had? And you're like, oh, somebody handing me this sour tang raspberry thing. You're like, garbage. In fact, it would be just Artie from Larry Sanders' show. He'd be like, total garbage. I've always said that. Might as well just piss in a dumpster fire for all it's worth. No, not you. You seem like someone who would be more of a wheatgrass enthusiast. Best one you'll ever have. You'll lose 95 pounds and you'll get laid by the remainder of the evening.
There we go.
God, what I would give to have Rip Torn just sell me beer.
I know, man. Is Rip Torn dead or is he still alive?
He passed away.
R.I.P.
national
Rip.
treasure. Yeah.
All right, Brian. That's it for happy hour.
Oh my God. That was a fast one. I think we solved a lot. We did it. Thank you to everybody who joins us. We will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we had a good time. All right. Take care, people.
Yeah.
We love you. I got to figure out how to turn this thing over to. There we go. Smooth. Everything's totally smooth. Boom.
Your dad taught you how. And look at you now. 'Cause if your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums, two beardless smiles.